again. Want to go over again the Tshuvas HaRashba. We'll do the Ram Bezrat Hashem. Daf Gimel and Slabot Kashit. Some of them is in Daf Gimel. Hello, some of them is Daf Gimel. Slabot Kashit. So we know we have a Gemara in. We start with the Gemara in Nedorim, page 48b. The Gemara Nedorim says, well, this man that he had a son who was a robber, he used to steal flax of pishton. Pishton is linen. That's what the Ran says? Okay. Rashi says that he was a maybe the Ran. Maybe the Ran. Yeah, I have no. Okay. Go in. $48B. Rashi brings two pshatim, or Gazlan, or Mesham Etatzim Noter, or Yoisik Banitze Pishton. Okay. Two pshat on Rashi. Or he was a gunner. The Ran says he was a gunner. Rashi brings another pshat that he stopped running to, he went to business. So this guy didn't want to support his son that went to business or was a robber. She was always older than Chosim on him. And he said he wanted to give only to the other son that was learning Torah. So he said, what happened if your grandson become a Talmid Chacham? The son of the one who went to work, or Ghana. So he says, so okay, so then I want to go to him. And he did a kinyan. He says he let him coin, he did a kinyan. Doesn't say which kinyan. But the pashas, he did a kinyan. My Omar lo likne adein. Let him coin it. What is let him coin it? How? It was mezakeh to him. With a king, it doesn't say which one. So what's the halacha? They came to Pupuditoi, the rabbi some Pupudita, and he said it's clear on us noise, which means the person doesn't have the child that didn't receive anything to coin it in it in order to mark it in somebody else. If I tell you acquire this in order to acquire to somebody else and you have no kinyan on it, doesn't work. He has kinyan pegos. So kinyan pegos, so not kinyan gubi, he has kinyan pegos, so then I'm acquiring it, and after me it goes to somebody else. But if I say acquire it just for the sake of acquiring it to somebody else, so how do you have the energy, the power to acquire to somebody else? Because it's yours. It's not yours. I only gave it to you in order to give it to somebody else. So you have nothing in it. So Popudoi says, Rav Nachman says, no, it's coin. Because we see Sudo is because the buyer gives to the seller a Sudo. In exchange, the seller gives him the object or the land. And here, when the buyer gives the seller the Sudo, the seller doesn't acquire the Sudo. He only acquires in order to market in exchange the land. And other has to give it back. So there's no kinyan in it. So we see Kiniyam Naslagmos works. And Ravashi says, first of all, who told you that he doesn't have a kinyan on it? Maybe he's allowed to hold on to it. And more, Suda is now. And we're talking about here, Kniyam Las Lagos in the future, it's worse. It's Kniyam Las Lagos. What are we talking about? Rav Nachman or Rav Ashi? Rav Ashi says two things. Who told you that he's not koine in it? He doesn't have a kinyan. Kniyam Las Lagos, there's no kinyan in it. Here is koine. Right. Second thing is, Sudo is koine now. Kniyam Las Lagos now. And here, by brain, so the child, grandchild wasn't born yet. So Kniyam Las Lagos in the future, it shouldn't work. This is the Gemara. Yes. On this, they asked the Rashba. So let's summarize what we got. What do we have? We have a story. This guy died. This guy gave over his assets to one child, and he says the other child, I'm not giving it to him, but I'm giving it to him in a way that if he has a grandchild, Talmid Chacham, so I want him to own it for the sake of the grandchild. So Pundoy says since he never got it, doesn't have any rights to use it. So it's Kniyam Las La'aknois, and he has no rights, so he cannot give over. The child cannot zoich in it to mezakeh to the grandchild because he never know when there was any schus on it. That doesn't work. Now, there's no suda works like that. The seller receives the suda and he gives exchange the land, and he doesn't own the suda, just owns the suda for the sake of giving exchange the land. And I know he has to give back the suda right after. He doesn't own it. He only owns it for the sake of acquisition back, of giving an exchange the land. So we see Kniyam Las Lagos works. Rav Ashi says no. By Suda, first of all, who says he doesn't have a kinyan in it? Now, if he wants to leave it by him, he could. Number two, even if he doesn't allow to hold on to it, but Kniyam Las Lagos by Suda right away, and here's future. The future doesn't work. Yes. So what happens? I makne the sudo medina mit knaini for the sake of the wife, and I'm giving it from the sake of the wife to the husband. The sudo non matana. He receives it, he picks it up. In exchange, he obligates himself to the sudo. What? Just saying right now, that's not giving the suda. According to Rav Ashi, he was allowed to hold on to my yarmulke, or to my suda when I give it to him. Man Lehman, who told you now? Now let's see the Rashba. Comes the Rashba, and he says, "Umad the kosav ma." I'm reading back the Rashba. I'm going to glance it through B'ezrat Hashem because we don't have much time, but please be with me because we already read it, the whole thing. But I'll go over it again because I see from the questions people ask me, and I didn't really understand it. Umad the kosav ma. The kova adon lifsek Rav Nachman. This guy that asked the Rashba, some rabbi, he says, it looks to you that it passes like Rav Nachman. The loich paslon, we don't care. Yodal sudar more. So the Rashba is facing a very, very, very big problem. Loima, the Rav Nachman or the Makne Bekiyon Suda Lachazman. Comes this rabbi and he said, let's analyze the Gemara. According to Rav Nachman, the grandfather was able to give over to the son, the non-Talmid Chacham son or the robber's son, the land, but not to acquire it for himself. He's giving it to him for the sake of giving it over to the grandchild. Through Kinyan Sudo. On what way he was mezakeh to the grandson through the son? He gave him Sudo lichayla. And that was the that doesn't work. And Avnach was like Sudo. And if he did it with Sudo, so what do we see? Or even if he didn't do it with Sudo, but Rav Nachman is medamet to Sudo, so what do we see? That you can makne Sudo even in the future. Wow. Which means it's not like Mashiach. If I give somebody an object to Moishech to pull, to coin it in 30 days from now, if it's not Oimid Ba'agam, if and the Mashiach is gone, it's finished. The kinyan stopped, it's finished. So how come Rav Nachman hold that this story is okay? What the grandfather gave to the future grandson, it will be a Talmid Chacham, through the son, and he was making with pseudo to the grandson. How can it work? True, pseudo works like this, but how can it work? Because normal pseudo is right away, like Rav Ashi's question. And here you want to make it into the future. So it comes out that Rav Nachman is arguing on Rav Ashi. Rav Ashi attacked pseudo's right away. Here is in the future. But what do we see Rav Nachman held like? It is like pseudo. That it works. It means it works in the future. But what about Kol Sakin Yonai? That was the problem of this rabbi to the Rashba. And the Rashba gave two answers. Reading in the Rashba, Mesupo Kani 3, where I stopped. Mesupo Kani 3 lines on the top, on the right side. Mesupo Kani Bazemi Kamashoni. He says, really, I have a doubt, couple of years, if that's true. Can I prove from Rav Nachman? Since it looks like simply that Allah is like Rav Nachman. Because Rav Ashi didn't say a clear opinion. He had a suffix himself, and Rav Nachman is a clear opinion. So it looks like simply that Rav Nachman is right, la aloha. And if Rav Nachman is la aloha, it's very hard to understand Rav Nachman. How can that work in the future? So he says, you know why I have a doubt? I saw the rabbis of the French rabbis, with them, they wrote, a complete agreement, that Chalipin cannot coin in the future because Kotsa Kinyona. Not like Rav Nachman. First of all, some of the places in the Shas looks like it does work. Not like Toises. Some of them it is like Toises. If I follow Ravashi, not Rav Nachman, is one of them that doesn't work in the future like Toises. Rav Nachman, yes. Gam, another case where we see not like Toises. Somebody says, this field will be yours when I will buy it in the future. When I buy this land in the future, I will acquire it to you now. How can it work me'achshav? But it is not yours yet. So you're doing a Maisa King, and you're giving a Suda. Somebody says, here's a King and Suda, I'm marking it the field. Then in the future, when I'll buy the field, I'm marking it from now to you. So it's called Sakin Yonai. How can it work? Not like Balatoises. They put a line on it, they erase that word. Like Rabbeinu Talvadim, you cannot do Kniyam Nas La'aklois in the future. Because Kol Sakin Yonai. Says, don't protest against those French rabbis. Because some places of Shas looks like them, some not. It's not clear. Because the rabbi that asked the Rashba wanted La'amid Adin to put up the law. Afilu B'Kiyan Sudo. That the law of the grandson is even Kiyan Sudo. Vina, even if he says it's not Kiyan Sudo, should the Rob Kiyan B'Shtar. It doesn't matter if it's Sudo or Shtar. Still is a problem. How can it work in the future? Maybe the shtar will be ripped before you buy it. It says Kosa Kinyona. He says, I gave an answer to this. He says, again, this rabbi asked, what's Pshat in Rav Nachman? Since the halacha pashas like Rav Nachman, and how can Rav Nachman say that Sudo works on the future? It's Kniyam Nas Lakros on the future, it's called Sakin Yonoi. Same thing with Shtar. If the Shtar doesn't exist then, it's called Sakin Yonoi. Maybe. But if the Shtar exists. Yes. So how we explain Rav Nachman? So comes the Rash when he says, I will tell you how to explain Rav Nachman. How Bale Atoisfis that says it doesn't work Kniyam Nas Lakros in Sudo in the future because really it doesn't work. So why Rav Nachman says it works? He explained Rav Nachman differently. He says, I have a bigger question. There's a stereo contradiction from two statements of Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman himself holds in Ksubas page 66b, 86b. Rav Nachman holds that if I make a meshicha on a cow, and that says I'm moishech it now, but would be my only in 30 days from now. Doesn't work. Why? Unless Elam Kilomet is bad, unless the cow stays in Agam. So the meshicha still continues. The control of it still continues. But if it's not, it doesn't work. And yet, Vochem in the Dogim, and here in the Dogim, Memches, Amud Beis, the Rav Nachman holds, Mashma, the Yisrael Sulokon Lachazman, he says, this case of the two and the Rabbon, the grandson, is like the case of Sudom. Means Pashas who works even Lachazman. The Aval Gav Doda Sudom Lemor Legam, even though the Sudom went back to the master, says, Kol Sekinyon, Stira Mi Rav Nachman, Rav Nachman. Ksubes, Peivov, to the Dogim, Pei Memchet, Amud Beis. That's the kasha the Rashba says. So he says, I have a beautiful answer. What's his answer? The answer. Sorry. Because we make it a demon to makne to the grandson. That's what Rabbanon, so must be in the future. V'amartin, I gave an answer. Be'ulai. What's the word be'ulai means? What does ulai mean? Maybe. Ulai. In the Chumash, we have Ulai 2. It has 3 dots. Aleph of Yud has a dot on top of it. No. No, the Malachim told Avram Avinu, Ulai. And there's a dots on Aleph of Yud from the word Ayo. That not only they asked Avram, where's your wife? They asked Sarah, where's Avram? V'amarti be'ulai, I said maybe. Ki Rav Nachman, so Rav Nachman holds, they said the konome achshov, that he acquires her from now, oiso kniya muetes, he acquired a little bit now. He like the likninu lebar bro, in order for the grandson to coin it, to Rabbanon, the knioso nimsheches min ashto, v'achat shikne levnoi, shakne levnoi. He learns that Rav Nachman's case, he says me'achsho v'lachar shloshim yoyim. When a person says me'achsho v'lachar shloshim yoyim, Rav Yochanan says it starts now, and like shigur the livne, and it goes on through. If the grandson comes in, Tamid Chacham, so then it finishes. So it starts now. So really, if I don't say me'achsho v'lachar shloshim yoyim, I just says lachar shloshim yoyim won't work because kol kinyonoy. Rav Nachman's case here, like where do we see kol kinyonoy? That's what Rav Nachman holds in Ksuvas Peivav. It's kol kinyonoy, not sending him Agam. Here's a case of Agam. Here I said me'achshov ve'lach me'achshov lech sheyetzru me'rabonon. So it starts now and it finishes later on. The Ravashi chola kol b'shtei asvoros. Ravashi argues 2 things. First of all, who says Sudo is kniyam laslachlos? It's koine legamre. Number 2, Sudo is right away. He is in the future. And who says that when I say in the future, the kinyan starts now and it goes on till then. Not like Rav Yochanan and Kiddushin, you have to say. V'im kedvorai. He says, if my words are true, and that was what did the Rashba gain, Rabbi? The Rashba gained that there's no raya from Rav Nachman to what this Rabbi wanted to say. This Rabbi wanted to say, since the law is like Rav Nachman, in the case of the grandsons, we see by Chalipin, I can do in the future, there's no Kotza Kinyonoi. The answer is no. Rav Nachman agrees, Kotza Kinyonoi, by Ksubis Peibo, by I'm taking this cow, I'm doing Mashiach on this cow, in 30 days will be mine. It's Kotza Kinyonoi. Here, by Rav Nachman, by the grandson, was that he sought the kinyan now. He says, I'm giving it now. It was coin him out. Which means he gave the robber's son, he gave him kniyam muetes. He gave him a little bit of an acquisition on it in order to continue on and finish. What? I don't know. He says, "Zeh kono me'achshov." When I say that it work for the grandson, it's as if he said me'achshov. Why? By Rabbi Yochanan, when he says Ma'ach Sholach HaShoshim Yois, who explains the steer in the words means it starts on our here. Somehow we see, I think from later on, that's the pshat there. We see, I see later on, we'll see in the Rashba, that's what it means. Let's continue on. V'im kedvorai, let's continue on. V'im kedvorai, I'm reading second line on the left column. V'im kedvorai, even my words are true, afilu b'shetim tzeliv like Rav Nachman. Even if you want to pass like Rav Nachman. Keuvda de kipe, ukedas haravam sheposakin. Even if you want to pass like Rav Nachman, like the Rambam Paskin, אף על פי כן, אין לנו ראיה גמורה משום בקניין סעודה לאחר הזמן. אלא אם כן, unless he told them, מעכשיו ולאחר הזמן. You see, that's what he meant to say. Don't bring a raya from Rav Nachman that Kinyan Suda works לאחר הזמן, unless he say מעכשיו ולאחר הזמן, which that's the case of Rav Nachman. And say מעכשיו ולאחר הזמן, then it's coin him now a little bit to לאחר הזמן. So you see, you see that's what he meant. That's pshat in the sugya there by Rav Nachman. As a nula, it's a maybe. But he says a better answer. Yeah, that's one answer. Rabbi. It's only one answer. What's his second answer? Gam nireli. Also looks to me siasvot luyo bedin echod. He has a better answer. He says the whole svora depends on one law. Im Chalipin koine bedin kesef. If you want to say Rav Nachman holds Chalipin is in Kesef, no problem. That Chalipin is Shabbos Bruto. If Chalipin is Kesef, would work even though later on it's gone, the food, the money's been eaten. Even though the Chalipin has no Taya Bruto, the Tere considered it less than Shabbos Bruto. Like kesef because it's a kli. Roy lemalachto. Aval im ein odin kesef, but Chalipin is not in kesef. Yefshar lo yimar do sud roy lemore. The other sud that cannot be because he give back the sud to his master. So it's called sakinyona. Umay shlo meshich was in meshich. It's called sakinyona. So again, so his second answer is he answers Rav Nachman who holds Chalipin is kesef. So he has two answers. The first answer was that Rav Nachman was talking about a K who said Ma'achshor v'lachar zman. Why? No, but we don't know what was the case there. The Gemara says he gave it over to the grandson, and Rav Nachman is medamet the sudo. So you have to say which sudo Rav Nachman is medamet that would work. A specific sudo, there's no problem because he said Ma'achshor v'lachar zman. That's the case of the Gemara. He did it in the correct way, even by sudo. But if he won't say Ma'achshor v'lachar zman, will not work because it's called sakinyona. That's one answer. Second answer, no, Rav Nachman is of the shita that Chalipin is mitam kesef. Ma baya? What's אותי? עוד שנייה, אני כבר גומר. Yes. 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 Yes.
And it cut when the Shaliach goes to put slats and give it to the woman. But the Sudan right now is happening everything at Shach. The Sudan come like Shach. So what it doesn't matter if it's like how does it work? The Casa Kinyano is Casa Kinyano Shach with the Sudan. So where is the Sudan after when the grandson? When is given the Sudan to the grandson after? It's not given the Sudan to
the first answer?
Yeah, the first answer.
This is no, I don't need the Suda to exist. Because the son acquired a little bit of the field.
The son acquired right now?
Right now, a little bit of the field. Like the case of Ma'ach Sholach Alamed Yoim, Rav Yochanan says, if I give a woman money, and says, the way it works, it starts, Keshua Delifne. It gradually grows and grows and grows. Starts now and it finishes an end. Second answer is, Chalipin is Kesef. So I don't care about Kol Sakiyona B'cham. Chalipin is kesef. Okay. Let's jump a little bit more. I'm jumping to the second paragraph. Kach nireli. Ubevadai od Ravashi masha shenim din kesef. Yes. Right, because since Ravashi holds that I need to hold on to the shtar, to the sudo, means it's kinyan, and otherwise it will be called kinyan. Yeah, because he says two options. Or Rava says, or it's right away, or if it's in the future, I can hold on to the Suda. Must be that there's a problem of Kosa Kinyonai. So he holds Chalip is not Mitam Kesef. That's his point. Not like the Rabbeinu Tam. ועיקרון של דבורים נראה לי שאין החליפים מinin כסף. לפי כך אי אפשר לא יאמר לכו שיהיו כלאחר זמן, כדאי ברבי סוין הצרפתי. Says the main thing is חליפין is not כסף. And therefore he makes a big חידוש. מהי דקוסף מר דאפילו לרבשי מי שכהנה בסודו שמש או בפרוטו ומקנה הסודו כאילו גומו שכהנה אפילו לאחר זמן אפילו הסודו באוילום מי דדה והכסף שכהנה לאחר זמן. Here there's another machloikis between the one who asked and the Rashba. One who asked the Rashba, he says, Ravashi holds Chalipins mitam kesef. So therefore, even though the Chalip is less than Shoma Pruta, since I market the Sudo Kirin Gom according to Ravashi, I'm giving it away that he's allowed to grab it. So Raylo Melachtoi. So therefore, I'm coining it afilu lachar zman, afilu lo yasudo boilom. Because kesef. Right? She says it's not true. Less of a pruto, it's Chalipin, is not kesef. ואילו נראה בעיניים של רבשי, מי חלקים סודו בלח הזמן, אינו כהנים משום חליפין. I'm משום כסף, is not less of a pruto. Right? But if it is shove kesef, but if it is shove pruto, so then it works not mitzat Chalipin, mitzat kesef shaboy. I have to go. Why? That's the Gemara in Kiddushin Menchet. He holds Chalipin is not mitam kesef. He made as a problem in the Sachli Kosa Kinyonoy. So let's show who this called Kinyonoy. But if it has a pruto, we say Dal Mocho Mitzad Kin Chalipin Kosa Kinyonoy, but there's a kesef in it. And Mitzad kesef, there's no problem called Kinyonoy would work. That's what he says. So the machloik is if what Pshat Rav Nachman or Pshat Rav Nachman says Me'achshav V'Achal Amedyoy. So that's how it works. Or Rav Nachman holds Chalip is mitam kesef, but the halacha is like Ravashi that Chalip is not mitam kesef, and he made a lesson Shove Pruto would work. This rabbi held it would work because it's kesef. He says no, it wouldn't work, and Shove Pruto would work not mitzad Chalipin shaboy, mitzad kesef shaboy. That's really the maskon of the Rashba.